Hey gorgeous, this is episode number 308. You are listening to Heart Sells Podcast. I'm your host Christine Schlonski and it is Variety Friday, the day where I share resources, answer your questions, or where I share from my entrepreneurial journey so you can be inspired or you can avoid some really big mistakes. This episode is brought to you by Heart Sells Academy, where we support heart-centered, ambitious entrepreneurs to redefine sales so they can grow their business and impact while creating the lifestyle of their dreams. So if selling just doesn't feel good to you and therefore it holds you back in creating a wildly successful business and lifestyle you love, then just email us at info@christineschlonski.com and let's talk about how we can support you, your impact and business growth. Just go over to christineschlonski.com to learn more. So let's dive in today's episodes. This basically is an episode where I want to talk to you about those days. And I'm quite sure you all have had those days where something just feels off and it's not in alignment and it's pretty annoying and you don't know if you're doing something wrong or what's wrong, but nothing seems to work. It's one of those days where, you realize your to-do list, all the stuff on there is just piling up and it seems like you're super busy, but you're not getting anything done. You're not effective and, because you really push yourself, you start making small mistakes. And then these mistakes add up and all of a sudden you are busy cleaning up your own mess instead of really moving forward in your business and doing the things that would move the needle. So I've just been there over the past week and I got really annoyed with myself thinking like, what am I doing? Why is nothing working? And, I'm being a little bit the drama queen here. Obviously, tons of stuff works. But when you are down in that hole or in that valley, you don't really see all the great stuff that works, right? You just focus on what's not working. Well, at least that was true for me in that situation. And it was really interesting to observe because I was so busy and I did so many things and I did quite a few small mistakes by really pushing myself instead of stepping back from the scene and just allowing myself to be, to relax, to connect, to realign with my mission and what I want to do. So I thought I'm gonna hop on today to share that with you because when we are ambitious, we really want to get stuff done and we really want to make sure that the business is growing, that we create the lifestyle of our dreams. And for me, for sure, that's true that sometimes I'm just pushing a little bit too much. And I don't know if you've been there, you love what you do and time just flies by. All of a sudden you realize the day is gone. And this is basically a reminder for all of us to focus on those things that move the needle in your business, in your life. Because when you push too hard, when you're so ambitious and your desire to have the impact is so big, it can create resistance because you're pushing. It's not that you allow the flow, that it's a different quality, it's a different energy. So when you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you're hustling way too hard and you're not really having the breaks you should be having, and you're not maybe treating your body with the respect it deserves in terms of healthy food, in terms of drinking enough water, in terms of working out, in terms of moving your body, then it's really, really time to have a break. It's really time to not sit down, but to get up from your desk and to go outside and to connect with nature. That's at least what I love to do. Just today, I have been on a very long walk and on the walk, I realized how much I missed not doing the things. And it's so easy, right? I mean, I have nature all around me. I just need to step outside and I am already in nature. So really understanding what you need to relax, what you need to let go, what you need to put that ambitious something within you aside for a second so you can recalibrate, you can realign with your mission is so important, because otherwise you will start to sabotage yourself, and eventually your body is going to tell you that your body wants a break. And then you might be in much more trouble than when you consciously decide you're going to take a break now. So this is my recommendation, basically. If you feel that something is way too hard, if you feel you're hustling all the time and you don't get the results, this could be a sign that you need to have a break instead of keeping to hustle on. And I know it's really counterintuitive, because we think, well, if I hustle a little bit more, then I'm going to get to where I want to go. And it just doesn't feel right to take a break if you have not even achieved what you wanted to achieve. Every time I decided to take that break, every time I decided to take the nap or to go out into nature or to just be for a moment, things have gotten back into alignment. Things have gotten easier again. And the flow came back because I stopped pushing so hard. And this is what I just want to encourage you to do. Do something that is good for you, that you love doing. It might be meditating, it might be journaling, it might be dancing or singing or going into nature or going, for a long walk or whatever it is for you. Just do that. And then also have another look at your to-do list. Maybe there's just stuff piling up on it. And if you are like me, I move it from one day to the next or from one week to the next, and it does not have the priority, but it stays on that list. So things are piling up, and then when I look at the list, it's not that encouraging if it's too long. So just sitting down and really thinking, is this what's on the list still important? Is this going to move the needle in my business, in my life? Is this getting me to my next level? And if it's a no, and it does not really have to get done, just delete it off of that list. If it's super important for your business, but you don't feel like you want to do it, outsource it, right? You have a lot of possibility and opportunity, but when we hustle so hard, oftentimes we just don't see it because we are in hustle mode. We are not in the creative mode that just allows abundance and that allows to feel great, and that has this creative, magical quality, because by hustling kind of destroys that, right? If you are in flow, that's different. You could be seeing flow as hustle as well, but it has a different quality in energy and emotions. So have a look at where are you on your journey, especially when we look at sales. Are you hustling, or are you just in flow? Like, do you do conversations and it feels great and you get the results? Or are you pushing and pushing and pushing and nothing happens? The next person says no, and then the next person says no, and then you hustle and hustle and hustle, and you start maybe being a little bit too pushy with yourself and with the people on the phone. So that's what I would suggest. That what helped me every time, to really step back, to take the nap, to go out into nature, to journal, to center. Not that good in meditating at this moment where I record this episode. I haven't really meditated in the classical sense where you just sit down and you try to empty your head. I think I'm meditating when I'm walking, when I'm out in nature for a walk, just being in flow, moving my body, observing just the trees around me or the blue sky or the sunlight or whatever it is. I think that's some kind of meditation for me. And it really, really helps. It really helps to go away from that kind of tightness into expansion, from that hustle mode back into flow and alignment. And then things become easier. And interestingly, the world around you will shift as well. Things will click. All of a sudden, the person who wanted to call you but hasn't done it yet, and before you know, you kind of chased them and checked up on them like 3 or 4 times, all of a sudden, they are calling you. All of a sudden, the client that said maybe is coming back to you and really wants to work with you now. Like, there's so much magic in that when you really decide to adjust your energy, to come back into alignment and to really follow your heart and understand the mission that you have. And by focusing on that mission, on what's important to reach that mission, to have the impact you want to have, the difference you want to make in the world, that will make the difference in how you feel. And if you are in expansion, if you are going into abundance, and if you stay there, or if you're going to being in contraction and feeling like there's not enough, and scarcity comes in, and all these emotions that are not that amazing to have. So I really hope that helped you. Hop on over to christineschlonski.com to check out the show notes. Once you're over there, make sure you sign up for the empowerment notes. That's empowerment right into your inbox from me to you. Also, it has updates on Heart Sales Podcast, latest episodes, and wonderful guests. And once you're over at christineschlonski.com, check out the Heart-Centered Lead Generation Summit. That's a summit I had live a while ago, and I put it in for you as an experience. So you can go through the same summit experience, having all these amazing speakers, 40 in total, teaching their strategies on how to do heart-centered lead generation so that you can learn ways that are organic, paid lead generation through partnerships. And it's really, really helpful to support you basically in filling up your pipeline with amazing potential clients. And as you know, I always call them soulmate clients. So thank you so much for having been here. Again, hop on over to christineschlonski.com to check out the show notes and get to the resources. And one more thing is that we will be celebrating Heart Sales Podcast 2 years anniversary on November 29th. And you are invited. I am so super pumped that you can join us. We will be doing several things in the course of the week. But I think what's super, super important is on the 29th, you can actually join a Zoom call. And on that Zoom call, there will be some of the amazing guest speakers sharing about what heart sales means for them. And then also, this is really amazing. You can join in and you can have your voice on Heart Sales Podcast, which means I will be asking you, one person at a time, why you're listening to Heart Sales Podcast, like what makes this one of your favorites, and also what is like maybe one or two big takeaways. What or how has Heart Sales Podcast influenced your business and your life? And then we will create an episode, a celebration episode out of all of that. So that means you can have your voice on Heart Sales Podcast, joining the ranks like John Lee Dumas, Bob Burke, David Newman, Kate Erickson, Susie Carter. I mean, you name it, like sales gurus like Ian Altman or Anthony Inario or Mark Hunter. So you can join those ranks and have your voice on Heart Sales Podcast. I am so super pumped about this. You want to make sure you get the link to the Zoom link. You have to sign up for the Zoom call on November 29th. And you can do that by hopping over to christineschlonski.com, finding the podcast tab. This is episode number 308. So you will find in the resource section the link that connects you to the Zoom call so you can join us and join in the celebration live. And I'm just pumped about this. So I hope you will be there on the 29th. And I hope you will be celebrating with us Heart Sells Podcast the last week of November, starting actually on Thanksgiving, November 26th. There's already stuff happening in the private Facebook group, the Heart Sells community. So if you have not joined yet, I'm going to put the link in as well so you can do that. And I'm just super, super pumped. So this is your podcast, right? I'm doing it for you. So I would love to have your voice on Heart Sells Podcast. Thank you so, so much for having been here. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in this beautiful world. And I'm saying bye for now.